Hey you, get on the stick.
Yo, bring it.
Choose your fighter.
Yeah.
How's it going, lads?
Fight.
Bang, bang, bang.
Flawless victory.
Side Quest Arcade.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Side Quest Arcade. I'm your host, Micro Manatee, this week. Matt couldn't join us. And with me are my IRL and internet friends, Brian, a.k.a. Happiness.
Hey, everybody, how's it going?
And Bryce, finally out of the fucking locker room after 2 weeks, a.k.a. _ Silent Reveries. Oh, send it. There you go.
Yo, listen. One of these days, boys, I think I just peaked. Brian's going to be upset, whoever's recording that. I peaked the shit out of this thing, cracking it open.
Be upset,
I'm going to turn it down a little bit here. We're down to 0.14%. My voice changed a little bit, probably. Listen, okay? I ain't been here. I got noise-canceling headphones on because normally I got my AKGs on where it's open face. And my gaming rig won't even fucking turn on right now. It just keeps blue screening. So we're set fucking, we're on a different machine. We're fucking sending it. We had Croatia today versus fucking, they play France. Fuck France. France won. That's okay.
There, bud. You're
ready to send it. Yeah, we're ready to go. I think
been sending it, haven't you?
It is 10:30. I've been sending it since 10 a.m. In Texas, apparently it's a law. My audio is looking a lot better than that, Brian, so ignore the first little part there. You have to give food to people if they show up before like 11 or 12 for lunchtime. So they would give us a beer. I'm like, why are you giving me chips? I didn't ask for chips. It's because in Texas, they have to give you chips per law. So I had chips. I have send it.
Sick law, dude. What?
Today also marks the day that been doing keto. I took a break for a little bit when I went back to Baltimore, down 30 pounds. So I stepped on the scale this morning. It said 180.8. I said that's close enough to 180. It's basically 180. We're sending it. So we fucking hammered some beers. We're drinking some blonde lager right now. Some blonde lager. We also got some of this vermint whistle pig. But yeah, Senate, Flint is, he's lackluster. One of these days I'll be the host. I'll bring everybody in. It'll be probably
man, I'm fucking standing right here. Happened. You coming out here. Look, last time I tried to do a fucking long, drawn out intro, and you know
fucked it up.
I fucked it up.
You fucked up this. So I thought you stayed short this time. You're like, hey, this is Bryce.
Yeah, welcome to Side Quest Arcade. Here's the fucking hosts. They know
here's
who we
Brian.
are. We're at episode 11.
Bryce.
All right? Yeah, here's Brian. Here's Bryce. What more do you need to know? We're all here. We're ready to record. It's great.
Listen.
Your
job each week, right? Like when you're filling in, needs to be, what can I do to just make like Matt think we don't need him anymore?
Listen.
And so far, you're failing because every time Matt listens to an episode, he comes back here like, you guys need me because you fuck up within the first 10 seconds of the episode. And this week is no different.
How
you did not
the fuck could I fuck up? Hi, we're on Side Quest Arcade. Here's Brian. Here's Bryce. That's it. Listen, I was trying to play in the NBA. I had to take
because
back
now
Little League. I take back the Little League, Bryce. Bring it up back.
Matt has built it up. Matt has built it up
West
so
44th
much.
Street, all right?
Matt has built it up so much that the crowd,
He's
the
got
fans,
layers, dude.
They expect Brian, but they expect some type of build-up. And we need to edit in the Bulls intro song. Like the 98, 99. They still enter in the Bulls intro song. Flint cut it in this week, okay? Bulls intro song before you announce my name this week.
To fucking
that
edit
is what
like
Matt
fucking
has led the crowd to believe, and you are letting it down.
Like motion track that shit and everything. I'll do it.
Matt, we need you.
Listen, man, you gotta start small, all right? I was like Icarus.
You start small,
too
you
close
end
to the
small.
hosting sun, and then it was downhill. So I thought I'll bring it back.
All right,
don't worry about it. All right,
start over. Okay, all right.
I'm not starting it over. It's too late.
Hey, it's your own thing. You're your own man.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. All right.
You're Micro Manatee, by the way.
I am. I'm your host, Micro Manatee. I think I said that. Pretty sure.
Okay. All right.
There was 3 things I'd say, and I said all 3. I did it. Congratulations. Have a beer. Brian, why don't we start with you for how your week was? How was your week?
My week's been pretty good. I've been super fucking addicted to World of Warcraft in the last week and a half. Thanks, Bryce. I blame you for that.
Yeah. So May, everybody, Guardian. Like, if you're gonna quit, May is making sure you don't quit.
Dude, May is out here. She was like, yo, you want to do some dungeons? Fucking running dungeons with me for like 2 hours. I was like, oh, this is great.
Brian is like, I crashed. May is like, I will protect you. I'm like,
So
that's
she
like
was-
Guardian Angel.
Well, so
Guardian
she
Angel.
came to. I was doing this fucking quest as I was playing my Death Knight, and all of a sudden there's just this roaming fucking ice skeleton, like world boss or something, just elite, but it's like level 112 elite, and the fucker's like one-shotting me, and he's
Right.
fast, and his aggro radius is fucking huge. It's like worse than going back to the old days and being ganked by devil swords just out of fucking nowhere. You ever went back in?
Yeah.
I don't remember what area that was, with the fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex just shows up behind you and stomps in your ass. But then this one's like, you see him and you're like, fuck, and you're running and he's catching you. And I was like, I must have died to this fuck 3 times. And so May was like, do you need anything? And I was like, yes, I need this fucking skeleton to go to hell. She's like, I'm on my way. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, thanks, May. And then she just followed me around and helped me quest for a bit. So since I knew I had a 110 geared mage following me around, I'm just like, cool, I need to kill these, just tag that, just tagging monsters
Absolutely.
and letting her just kill everything for me. I was like, this is great. And then that's when my computer crashed in like the middle of a swarm, and that's when she's like, I'll protect you. Because I died in the middle of an area, chain pulling monsters
Oh, fuck.
as my computer went down. So yeah, I got my Death Knight to level 110 like 10 minutes before we started like the Discord call.
Nice, dude.
So I've got
What are your professions? What are you running?
I never do professions.
Oh no,
I'm terrible
that's
for
like
it.
as
Almost
you guys
every
know by
character
now,
is
side
just
things
mining and
are my
herbalism, and
favorite.
I just sell all the mats. I'm
That makes
terrible for
sense.
it.
Yeah,
Doing professions, Bryce. You got me into it. You fucking
dude.
you were
Professions,
singing
dude.
fucking Fission's high praise, and I was like, you know what? I'll do professions. So I'm doing skinning and leather working on my mage or on my rogue.
You
right
selling
now.
it? You selling it all then, huh? Oh, you got leather working, so you don't
Yeah,
need to sell it. So
I can just make my own shit. Yeah.
do you find yourself skinning enough shit for leather working, or are you falling
Yeah.
behind a little bit, or
No, my skinning's above my leather working. I just go around just killing
Okay.
mobs, right? Like it's I think I'm at like 175, 180, something like that.
right?
I'm in an area where I can do it.
It's a
Leather
lot
working
better
takes
than
longer.
it used to be for that. It used like you used to.
It's
your
still
leather
no.
always
Brian, have you
fine.
tried jewel crafting lately?
No.
It's still like, to me, like I was like, jewel crafting, dude. Burning Crusade sucked. Pick jewel crafting, get on my first tune before I switched servers. Jewel crafting still sucks
Unfortunately,
because you have to do mining, right? Mining easy. Jewel crafting, no. No,
It
thanks.
was always brutal. My roommate back in the day, he had 5 warriors at level 80 when 80 was the cap, and all 5 of them were full maxed out alchemists in transmutation. And
Right.
he just made all of his money because he then had like 1 rogue that was a jewel crafter. He'd
Mm.
then just craft all these like important gems that you then had to transmute with an alchemist.
Yeah,
That would then just sell for like huge bank on the auction house, which at the time was like $200 a pop. That was a lot of fucking money at the time.
That's,
and I
that's not
never
bad.
noticed. Like, I thought that being on Brian, I'm sorry about this episode. Okay, I'm not fucking popping, dude.
You've been
I can
drinking
tell
since
now.
10:30 this morning for.
I'm surprised that you got the
soccer
computer up
game.
and running, dude.
It's this computer. I can tell now by looking at Audacity that you're going to be upset. And my legit microphone volume is at 2%, and I don't know how to fix it in Audacity. So,
Whisper the rest of the episode.
Just keep it the distance like you're at now.
All right. So what I'm saying is, I never thought on a high populated server that it actually like drives prices up, which I guess like makes sense in auction house like terms. But I figured like low populated servers, because there's less of a demand, it would be a higher price. But it's actually like higher populated servers, shit, it's way more expensive.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I mean, I don't know what the prices in general are just crazy high right now too.
Yeah,
Like-
I try to. It might be like that ebb and flow between like patches released, how long has patches been out type thing.
Possibly too. Prices now, because BFA is like a month away. Like, actually, if anything, prices are plummeting because nobody gives a shit about buying the ore right now. Why would they care about ore and jewel crafting when, you know, in just like 4 weeks you've got all the new stuff?
You only
So-
care if you're leveling, right? Unless it's that's what I still don't understand. I think that's like, maybe you guys can explain it to me.
I can't
So
tell you right now.
so the whole thing to me is like, I want to level my professions as I'm leveling. But somebody told me I don't need to do that. I can just wait until I'm max level and do it all at once when I'm max.
So what happened is, like I found this on my death knight because he actually had professions, whereas the other characters I was leveling, I never even picked them up.
Right.
And he was a jewel crafter miner back in Wrath of the Lich King. But it was just like, as soon as I hit level 100, I got a quest in town that took me like 15 seconds, and then it just gave me a scroll that brought my jewel crafting to the level of a level 100 character.
So
And
it
then
only
from
matters
level 100
if
to
you
110.
want those recipes that are pre whatever the expansion is.
Pretty much, and even then,
Well, who the
there
fuck
was
cares
ways to
about
get
that?
them. Well, transmog people would care.
Is that like tank people or?
No, so
To, like, make
transmog's a
your
new
gear
thing
look
that's been-
different.
So you
Okay.
can make your gear look like any gear you've ever equipped it. So you can
Oh,
go,
so you can make your gear as level 110 look like Burning Crusade gear or some shit like
yeah.
that.
So people will then make like custom outfits, and there's a couple of like really popular items that people make a fortune like farming. Like there's some like blue like rare drop swords that look really cool that are hugely popular, and if like you randomly get it dropped, you could sell it for like 500, 600,000 gold at the auction house.
And that's sticking
And
with
it's like level
BFA?
35 item that people will sit there and farm for days and days
Oh,
and days
shit. Okay, all right.
for transmog. But at that point, it's kind of like smite skins, you know what I mean? But you're
But
like,
even
trying to
if
farm
you're
the
like
pieces.
leveling professions normally, that would be like I hope I get this along the way type thing to be able to do it at the end.
At that point, too, you could also get the level 100 one, and if there was ways to get the recipe, you could just go back and get the recipes.
Right. Yeah, because
So-
once you're level 110, you just fucking kill everything anyway, super quick. So it
Pretty
doesn't
much.
matter.
So,
Yeah.
like, other than the enjoyment of doing it, there's really little benefit
Yeah.
to many of them. Most of your gear won't even be able to equip, like, have sockets in it at low levels. And
Yeah.
There's some of
Unless
them that
you're
are
a
okay,
jewel
like-
crafter or something like that, and you can make gear with sockets, like rings with sockets or whatever the fuck the shit
you can
is.
make rings and necklaces and stuff, but
Yeah.
leveling so fast now too. And then of course I've got most of the heirloom gear, so I'm leveling with that. So I just fucking skyrocket. I get like 50% increased EXP while leveling. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't do any of that heirloom shit.
I don't think you had any high enough characters. Somebody would have to basically donate you like 30,000 gold and go buy it.
Yeah,
all.
I saw you can like as you're leveling, like buy heirloom gear from like how you're exalted with certain reputations. But I'm like, I don't think this would be worth it. You like wait until you're level 110, buy the best heirloom gear then, and then do it for once like
For
you're
an
the
alt.
lower level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I've got 3 110s right now. And
Yeah,
I've got,
my only like my highest level character ever back when I played BC was a warlock. Dude's gone. Not on my account. No fucking clue. Gone. See you later. Gone.
was your account hacked?
Sending it. Hey, what a
I
topical
may or
question.
may not.
What a topical question.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit, look at that.
We'll talk about that later.
Talk about that later, yeah.
I forgot that was going to be a challenge this week. But aside from that, there's a couple of things from my week. I said this is actually our second attempt recording because we had technical issues on Friday. And one of the things I was talking about was how playing World of Warcraft and seeing some of my favorite characters, Sylvanas, Thrall, like all the cool orcs and many of the Alliance. Wow, okay, not so much the Alliance people. We gank a couple of them, kill them in quests.
Alliance
But,
is
aside from
fucking
that,
Stormwind. Yeah, give me some more
not the
Stormwind.
eyes.
Hell
Flint.
yeah.
That's all I gotta say when it comes to the Alliance. But it really makes me want to play Heroes of the Storm again, where it's like I'm burnt out on Smite. I'm like super burnt out on League of Legends from years ago. And I've always enjoyed Heroes of the Storm, but every time I ever played Heroes of the Storm, I always just went back to Smite because all my friends were in Smite. But since I'm still so burnt out in it and have like zero interest in picking it back up,
You don't
a
have
little
friends in
bit-
Smite anyway.
well, fuck
You
off.
find some. You hit the whammies up. Most of the whammies still fucking play Smite, dude.
Sure.
Yeah, there's still a bunch of people.
Some
in the
reason
Whammies.
Whammies still want to play with Matt, so I guess you could too.
Yeah, Matt's been playing with Define Pride and a bunch of the YouTubers and stuff too. I could probably join if I wanted.
Matt just drops into the fucking Smite channel. He's like, hey, let's go. He fills up the room, and everyone's like, all right, let's play with Matt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so
I
it makes
love
me want to
streaming.
play
Shut the
Heroes.
fuck up, man.
It makes me want to play Heroes. But then, as I was saying before, Heroes, like, I love the character design. I love the map design.
Heroes of the Storm, right?
Here's the Storm. I think their character design, like, if I was to compare Smite, League, and Heroes of the Storm, Heroes of the Storm has better character design and better map design. Just hands down, like 10 times better. But they often don't feel as fun. And
Right.
I realized what that was like, it's the double-edged sword of Smite and League of Legends is the snowball. Because you can individually snowball. Like we were talking about, like if you get 4 kills in lane, you're like, I'm the greatest fucking person ever. You know, and then the next 20 minutes of your life is a ton of fun. Even if your team is losing, for the next little while, you are just unstoppable murder fest in Smite and League of Legends if you get that far ahead.
Yeah.
But
I mean, at
because of
least like you could carry the game by yourself in Smite until late game.
yeah, there's a certain point where your team can still throw it, or you get fed, and then somebody on your other side of the lane feeds harder, and the other
Yeah.
person's more fed than you.
Like
and
if you're
like,
playing
"Oh,
solo lane and then you go against the hunter and you're like, oh my fucking god, Artemis is fed.
fuck." Yeah. So, but because of team leveling, you never run into that issue of like, you know, I'm doing pretty well, but then this person's getting so much individual farm that they're way further ahead, and there's like nothing you can do to fight them. But what ends up happening, I find more in Heroes of the Storm, was while the team leveling and objectives and everything kind of keep it from that one player just horribly throwing a match by feeding somebody that carries the enemy team,
Right.
you get stuck in more of the situations of like, we need to take these objectives because Heroes of the Storm is
It's all
significantly
objective-based.
more objective based
Yeah.
than Smite and League of Legends. Like way more objective based.
Yeah, they have,
And
what is it, like 11 or 12 a map? Something like that?
Which is like
well, they're
so-
including each tower as one objective.
I
Okay.
like
You've got
it.
mercenary camps as
I
well.
like it, but I wish like people could take the amount of objectives that are in Heroes of the Storm and pretend that exists in Smite. Like take this and take 3 objectives in Heroes of the Storm and pretend one objective in Smite equals the same thing, and maybe we will all go for an objective in Smite. Maybe we will do it.
No.
But the thing is like what we were saying before is in Smite, because of the way you can snowball, you can actually just win a game for the most part by just running around. And actually, with how often people just surrender too. So sometimes the strongest strategy to win low-level games in Smite is just murder everybody until they're so pissed off they surrender.
Yeah. That's
Like,
a
and it
fact.
actually works. Like how many
F6
games
or
have
just
won
quit.
where it's like, hold off the tower. I want to farm some noobs, right? And you just get further and further ahead than they surrender at 10. But that doesn't happen in Heroes of the Storm. I don't think there's even a surrender button in Heroes of the Storm, but you get stuck in the situation, and this is what almost makes it anti-fun, of like, there's always one person who thinks the only way to win is to split push.
Do
And
you
they
have a
see the
favorite class
objective.
in Heroes, Ryan?
I like all of them actually.
So, have you played the dude? He's in World of Warcraft. That's why I bring it up. He's like an assassin basically, and he's got like the double swords on each arm.
Illidan?
What's his name?
Illidan?
Yeah, I think so. He's like the main dude in World of Warcraft.
In Burning Crusade he was, and now in Legion he is.
Yeah.
Illidan, Stormrage.
Yeah. Do you like him or no?
He's not bad. Illidan is very much a bit of a noob trap. He's that like he's often considered the Loki of Heroes of the Storm.
But that must be why I like him.
Him and what's the one from StarCraft? I forget his name. They're basically just the Lokis of Heroes of the Storm.
Fucking Illidan mains over here.
Yeah.
Yo, Illidan and Heroes of the Storm, dude, he fucking done. You're fucking cooked.
He's been nerfed a lot, but
well,
I know a couple of people that played a bunch of them. But yeah, my big point was like play one match and I'm like, oh yeah. Some people think the best way to win is split push. Like they think they're so fucking clever that they're like, I'm going to split push and I've done all this damage to this tower, and all I need my team to do is not lose that objective on the south, this like time spawning map objective. And he'll be like, I took 30% of a health of a fucking tower. I am the greatest player ever. My team is a bunch of scrubs. Meanwhile, his team is 4v5ing, and the enemy takes the objective while he's split pushing, and they take a whole fucking tower for it. And they're like, why couldn't you just hold the defense? I was split pushing. And I'm like, that was literally what made me like stop playing Heroes of the Storm, was that one person who's just like, I'm secretly the best player by never being with my team. I'm single-handedly carrying by split pushing the whole game.
Clearly.
That happens in League. That happens,
But it happens even more
too.
in Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah.
It happens more.
Well, like, so here, like, imagine if Smite had, like, one of them was like, imagine where the Fire Giant is instead of the Fire Giant, every 3 minutes
like
into
Loki
a match.
would do the same.
It's gonna be a sec. Like, this is a Heroes of the Storm mechanics, right? And every one of them's different. But imagine there's two spawns. There's the Gold Fury and the Fire Giant, and at random it'll go to Gold Fury or Fire Giant, and you go kill what's basically 3 times as strong as a blue buff, and whichever team kills it, a fucking bomb drops on one of their towers for 60% of the health. That's the kind of, I mean, not quite to that percentage and that degree, and it's a little more complicated.
Wait, so it's like getting a Rift Herald.
Like, what's that?
It's like getting a Rift Herald.
Rift Herald is
League of Legends. League of Legends, Brian, have you not watched League of Legends
Rift
recently?
Herald was not around when I played League of Legends.
Okay, so League of Legends, Rift Herald has changed over time. So Rift Herald spawns in place of Baron. Rift Herald spawns in place of Baron. And if you get it, the person who picks it up can set it down pretty much wherever they want, whatever lane they want. So if you set Rift Herald down, that motherfucker, you set it down and it attacks the tower. It attacks the tower for like 60% of the tower's health. No matter like if you send it down a tier 2 tower, tier 3 tower, that motherfucker smokes the tower. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that, you could say, but that's like a commonly spawning thing. But then often they'll spawn in different locations, and every map has different stuff. Like one of them is like, if you collect this objective 3 times, then all of the enemy minions for the next 60 seconds do not attack and have 1 HP. And so now every single minion you have is pushing. And if you do it right, you can also then go get like other camps in Heroes of the Storm that basically they don't have like buffs, but if you kill the equivalent to a buff camp, the buff camp then runs down the lane and helps attack it.
But this depends on what map you're on too.
Depends on the map. But because there's 9 different maps, it keeps it a little bit more interesting. But then it's super objective based. But then because of team leveling, you're never single-handedly just shit kicking everybody because you're so far ahead as an individual. Often and then there's rubber banding mechanics to pull people back. So you go from playing just like, you know, rolling the dice to see if you can be super fed and Smite, you know, 1 in 5 games having an amazing time and 3 of 5 having an absolute shit time, to just having a very neutral time playing a game of chess is Heroes of the Storm. It's much more, I don't know, in between. But I think it's worth picking up, and I'm going to try it some more. The only thing that really holds me back.
Wait,
from
so we
playing
just had
Heroes-
this whole talk about Heroes of the Storm because you're playing World of Warcraft. Have you actually played Heroes of the Storm?
I've logged back in and I played a bot game,
Oh shit.
and I'm contemplating this. What hit me when I picked it up, I was like, I want to play. And then I opened it and I went, right, I only have like 10 heroes, and I don't like 9 of them. And then they're like $10 a character.
That's fucked. That they do
And
that.
then-
That
so
can do
I'm
it.
like,
That can do it.
The
dude.
Legend was back in the day. It was just like, because I'm always like, I want to try this different character. I think what's holding me back is that character being more fun than the one I'm playing right now. And in Smite with the God Pack, I can just rotate all around.
Yeah. But in
all
Heroes
the
of the Storm,
time.
you buy the one player. He is not any better, so you buy the next one.
And I'm like, God damn, because there's no goddamn hero pack. And that's like literally the biggest thing holding me back from wanting to play the game is the amount of time it would take to get all of the characters, or just the straight up amount of money it would take to get all the fucking characters.
Fucking killing yourself, grinding out. That's one thing that pisses me off. Like that model that Hi-Rez has, they should like other games just be looking at that going, oh yeah, no, that makes sense. Like you should be locking characters at this point.
But
in
the
video
problem
game
is,
world,
dude,
you
they
want
just
cosmetics.
don't need to. They don't need to.
Blizzard has like fuck you money and fan base. They're just like people have been playing
Exactly.
World of Warcraft for how long? Playing for the fucking subscription. Like we can just do what we want. It's fine.
They don't give a fuck.
You know, I was watching a video actually talking about World of Warcraft, and everybody talked about failing World of Warcraft. They're like, oh, failing. After Wrath of the Lich King, it went from 12 million players to 6 million players. Except with the 6 million players that are in there, they're spending way fucking more money on all the extra stuff outside of the subscription. I mean, they've added the fucking tokens in, right? Where you can spend $20 to basically buy a WoW token that you could sell in the auction house.
So
to net
somebody can
a
pay for their
1 month sub.
subscription. Yeah.
Now, basically, they killed all of the fucking gold farmers by then just giving you a way to get gold in game for cash. They're making more profits than they did in the days of Wrath of the Lich King with half as many players.
Yeah,
They're also part Activision, so they're never going to put out Hi-Rez's God Pack. But Hi-Rez's God Pack is amazing. And if Hi-Rez didn't have the God Pack, I probably wouldn't have played Smite for 5 years. I probably would have played it for 3 months, gotten frustrated with the grind to get the next God, and quit. And I wouldn't have invested anywhere near as much money as I did into the game without the God Pack.
yeah, it's a huge game changer having access to all the characters, and it like, well, I guess we lost that recording, but when you take a break and come back, you have access to everything, which is huge.
You got all this new shit you can do. You're like, oh, sweet.
Wait,
Like,
how do we find this out?
in Smite, if you take a 6 month break and come
Yeah,
back,
I know.
there's
I'm
like
just
40
saying.
characters.
Somebody, you said lost our recording. Did
Oh,
somebody
because Brian's
lost
fucking
break?
power went out on Friday when we tried to record the first time, so we had this conversation.
But
already.
Brian took a long enough break to get a fucking booster when he came back. What the fuck, Brian?
What said boosters? You know, fucking lay off the bourbon here, Bryce. You're gonna relax
Wait,
or
no.
something.
You just said okay. Power cut out, so we
Yeah.
did not hear that.
We're
Brian.
with me. You could.
You have not played Smite in so long that when you logged back in, you got boosters.
No, I said there was new characters.
Oh, okay.
You got
Baron.
I thought we-
Baron Sammy's
No,
out,
no,
fucking having a party.
mean,
Like,
They're,
you know?
I thought you got that
slowed their
Medusa.
release.
Like you're unlocking this Medusa booster.
No, I'm not talking
Alright.
about that. I was talking about like, well, especially back when I would like take breaks during beta, right? 'Cause
I
think that
understand we're
period
not a
where-
Smite podcast anymore, but Brian. If you're taking
I
that
know, but
long
what
of
I
a
was
break,
back,
you know,
back in the day, though, they were releasing a god every 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
you take a 3-week break or like a 3-month break, come back, and there'd be like 6 new characters to play.
yeah.
It was like, oh, okay, cool. Like there was stuff to do when you came back, and it would like keep my interest, and then have me buying skins, and then I'd
Right.
leave and then come back. I wouldn't have to invest to get the new stuff. That is like my complaint with the Heroes of the Storm. It was just like every time I played, I get to the point where I'm playing solely to try to get the gold to get the next characters, and I'm like,
You gotta become a one trick. You gotta be one trick, Brian.
I've never been able to be.
Gotta be an
I've
Illidan
already
main.
got. I've only
Yeah,
played
Illidan
people-
main. That's what I'm talking about.
Actually, I own Illidan because
You see?
Yeah, you're already on top of it. You're already on top of it.
I think he might be
Loki.
my most played character too.
Yeah, so gave me shit.
Hey, dude, look, I can play Illidan. That's fine. As
He's
long
a
as I admit
beast.
that he's the fucking Loki of Heroes of the Storm. Bryce, you play Loki. You know what Loki is.
Maybe
but you
that's
still
why
play
Illidan's
Loki.
my favorite character. I never made that comparison.
Anyway, talking about it more, I think I might finish the episode and actually go play some to shut Bryce the fuck up.
Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna fucking play some Illidan and split push all game. How about that, Bryce?
Hey,
How about that?
go for it.
That'll
Hey,
show.
I love Illidan.
That'll show.
You're not shutting me down by playing Illidan. You're shutting the haters down.
Oh, shutting the Illidan haters down. I see.
But then the other thing for games this week, which we weren't able to talk about in Friday's recording, what we can talk about was yesterday's D&D session.
Oh, fuck yeah, bud.
Which, like, I feel like it was a really great session for only having half the players there.
It was a lot of fun. It was essentially it was one dungeon. We just because we started it the last session and we got to finish it this session. It was really cool. Very interesting mechanically, lots of interesting puzzles and trust nothing because it was a fucking ghost house that we were in. You know, first thing we do when we get in there, the fucking couches attack us. Like going in, oh, fucking Otaku grabs the couch and is like, oh, no, that's gonna try and eat you, buddy. Sorry. Mimics are a bitch. And then everything we see, we're like, Like a room full of chests came right after the couches and we're like, okay, poke them all. What's going on here?
You go to the next room and there's 6 treasure chests, which I thought the party would be like, woot, treasure chests. They literally get in and they shoot an arrow at every single treasure chest. And then they get to it and they still don't trust it. And they attack it with their sword and they're like, okay.
I guess
You're
we
destroying the treasure, you fucks.
Well, we didn't break the
couch
treasure.
attack.
We got the chest. It was just like the fucking couches were
No,
trying
Brian
to
should
eat
have
us.
been like, nope, you attacked it too much. Treasure gone.
You're too suspicious. It's like, oh.
You just lost 200 gold. God,
Yeah, exactly.
Walk into danger. That's the best way to play.
That's it. That's all we could do. Fucking, that was what Aiden was doing, man. He's playing the ranger, like squishy guy. He's got like half the amount of HP I do, and he's like, I'm just gonna run into this room. I'm like, you know what? That last room gave us poison gas, and we were passed out having hallucinations. Maybe you want to wait before you run into the next room there, buddy. I don't know. Like, okay, go for it.
Aiden took a feat when he leveled up that says he'll do extra or higher chance to hit if he's the closest person to the target. So now if people are far away, he's becoming the closest person to a target and then shooting at them.
Why would he do that? That's like something I gotta take. What? Oh my god.
It's meant for a melee ranger, but he's rocking it.
Okay, well, you know, if he's into it, he's into it, I guess.
My favorite moment of that whole dungeon, where like that dungeon was crazy and weird. And when I was making it, I was just trying to go for like the strangest concepts I could think of.
It was
but
wild.
My favorite was the skeleton. So after they finished the room with the treasure chests, and unfortunately we I think we lost the recording of that. Or you
We
said
did,
it's like sounding,
unfortunately. It
it's
sounds
Let's
horrible.
hear about it.
We're so behind on Wizards and Whammy anyway. You won't even notice. You'll forget 6 months.
But pretty much Flint. Well,
Listen, man, I've been editing, all right? I got episode 2 and 3 sound great. I can upload 6 episodes of Wizards
I
and
might
Whammies.
need to join in on Wizards and Whammies just to keep it up to date. I'm just saying.
Okay, man, do it. Fucking do it. I don't care.
But that room they went in, they walk in and they see like a set of curtains and they hear the shower running. And so the party's like, all right. And then they walk around and there was like a small sliver and they could sort of see in it. And they're walking back and forth trying to like look inside the shower. Flint's then giving Josh a hard time, calling him a peeping Tom. Josh stealths up, opens the curtain to like look inside. He opens it and he's like, what the fuck am I looking at? Party again giving him a hard time for being a peeping Tom. What he saw as he stealthed in was a skeleton taking a shower. And I thought it was funny when I put him in there. And then Josh was like, all right. He casts Mage Hand and turns the water off on the shower. And the skeleton lights on fire. And he realized the skeleton was just trying to relieve the fire on him with the water. And then they break out into a big fight. Josh asked me later, so what happened if we just let the skeleton shower? I'm like, you wouldn't have got the chest, that like the key that was around his neck? And that was it? He would have just continued showering. Right
literally
until
no
the dungeon was
consequence. It was
done.
just gonna
There
fucking
was,
have
like,
a nice shower.
Next to no consequence. It was just, are you gonna fuck with the skeleton trying to relieve himself from being on fire in the shower? No, all right, you're gonna fuck with that guy. All right, he'll fight you.
Yeah, that was. He literally did the one thing that, like, if he just couldn't, like, if he just left it alone, it would have been fine. He was like, I turned the water off. Like, well, better fucking turn it back on. First turn you get. Then he gets the lowest initiative on the combat roll. I was like, well, God damn it.
He almost died to that skeleton too. Like,
He did
I'm
almost
in
die.
possession for an hour. I immediately fuck with something I probably shouldn't have, and I almost die.
It was.
He's like,
I mean, fuck, I almost died too. I almost died for a different reason. I just couldn't fucking hit anything.
For what? Why do you
Oh.
almost die, Flint? Flint sent out this tweet, Brian. You need to, Brian. I need to hear this from your point of view.
Yeah.
I don't know much about World of Warcraft, but I figured out World of Warcraft.
Well, we're talking about
Dungeons
World of
and Dragons,
Warcraft here. Hold on here. You don't have to
that
hold
this
on.
is pretty. Nat 0 is the worst. Nat 20 the best. Is that
Nat
correct?
1's the worst.
Nat
You
1.
can't roll a 0 on a dice.
Okay. So,
I mean, Flint was rolling pretty bad. He could have damn near rolled a 0.
I
So
might as well.
Nat 1 rolls became so frequent that they are known as Flint rolls. Is that the correct
Flint
response?
just rolled so many, because Flint, you have to remember, we only had half the players. So Flint was playing Andrew's character too, and then I was playing Fiona and Tyler's character, just so that, like, we could keep combat flowing. And Flint didn't roll anything higher. Like, there was an entire fight where he didn't roll any dice higher than a 6 out of 20. So he's just missing every swing. He's like, I use my super powerful attack and I miss. Cool. I use this, no, and I miss. Damn it. And like every single thing Flint did, he missed on both him and Andrew's character. He just couldn't roll like a Nat. How many ones did you roll? You rolled
Well,
like
it was.
3 or 4
I rolled a bunch of ones to hit, but then it was like I finally hit an ability. I finally got my super cool Savage cut off, and I was like, "This is gonna do so much damage." And you roll 3d6s and a d8, and I was like, "This is gonna be fucking sick. I'm gonna smoke this guy." Roll the dice, 3 nat 1s in the damage roll, and I took my headphones off and walked away. I was like, "Fuck! You kidding me?" I was so mad.
Yeah, fuck, because it's still peaking. Hold on.
Oh, that.
So yeah,
we're just gonna work.
but then when somebody else would miss, because Flint was rolling so badly, like, don't take him to a craps table or don't take him to Vegas and get him to roll dice for you.
Fuck.
That's a bad idea. And then somebody else rolls a dice and they miss, and everybody's like, wow, that's a Flint roll.
Yeah, I was like, man, I'm very sad. But immediately after,
Flint roll.
Look, I took pity on you. Flint was rolling so badly that as a DM, I had to take pity on him. He finally, like, he sets it up. He's like, I'm getting so mad. I'm so sick of missing every roll. Rolls a nat 1. That's actually when you, like, threw your headphones
that's
off
right.
your head
Yeah, you're right.
and you stormed away. And you, like, I usually only do critical fumbles if you're, like, really fucking up, right? It's basically just salt to the wound.
Fiona wasn't there.
No,
Andrew wasn't there.
no.
Tyler wasn't there. So we're saying
I need to make an intro.
Brian. Okay. D&D,
Don't worry about
I'm
it.
saying
It's
this
fine.
now. We didn't get to my week yet.
All right,
I'm gonna
Bryce.
Say this now.
Let's hear about your week.
No, it's still Flint's week. Still Brian's week. I'm just gonna say this now in the middle of your week. I feel so bad about this D&D epidemic with people not showing up. Count me in. Let's do this.
Should we roll you a character? Because I've already got like upwards of 7 players.
You know what?
Hey man, if Holly keeps
Okay.
ghosting me, that'll be all right then. 'cause I'm still
I'm
getting
already
ghosted.
a character that is gonna fucking destroy Flint's ass. Flint, look at me.
I'm looking right at you, buddy.
I'm already a character, Brian,
Hoo,
that's gonna destroy.
I can do it too. Hoo.
I'm already
All
a
right,
character.
Bryce,
that's
you
gonna
want to make a
fucking destroy
character?
Flint, but I'll be a side character. Can I be like silent helper? Like I've
All right,
infiltrated.
so the character that I based off of your very faint description of only kill Flint,
Kill Flint, yeah. Let me-
that's a
let me
boss.
infiltrate
That's
my own
actually an
character into a way.
antagonist for the party. Are you wanting to join as a player character too?
Yeah, so this is
You can't be evil, or like you
No,
can't
I
be work.
This is the mindset. Bryce, the evil character, over here, gonna destroy Flint. All of a sudden, boom! I'm a
Beautiful
friend.
train wreck.
Here I come. Here I come. I'm
Beautiful.
making friends. Meanwhile, the whole time, boom! Actually,
Are
bad.
you mimicking with your hands fucking yourself?
Bryce is mimicking penetration for those audio users on the
For the
SoundCloud,
audio users,
which we
audio
have.
users.
He literally just took
There's
like
a
his
bad
two
guy
fingers-
over here, audio users named Bryce, audio users. Here comes a nice guy, Bryce, over here making friends with Flint. Hi, Flint. I like you. I'm your friend, Flint. Boom. Actually, no, I'm bad guy, Bryce's friend. Fuck you, Flint. And I'm fucking.
He's
we're
fucking his
fucking.
hands together, and yet his left hand describes
it's really
Bryce,
weird.
and his right hand describes Bryce,
Yeah.
and he's making them fuck.
I'm kind of
Basically-
uncomfortable. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
Basically, I'm gonna
we'll talk
be
this
a
with you
bad
sober.
guy infiltrating the good guys. But
Oh, I
Flint,
am
you should know
infiltration.
that.
I know that. I know
I
that
gotta
Street
talk
Fighter
to
player.
the DM. I got to talk to the DM, Flint. You're not here.
Okay, well, I am here. I'm hosting this episode, so you know.
Maybe we'll switch it
We'll
up.
chat about
Now
this
you'll
after,
never know
Bryce.
if it's good or bad. Now you'll never know.
Look, we'll talk
Maybe
about
I'll
your
be Kenny
incestuous
Powers.
relationship of a D&D character, I think, after the recording.
Sure.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. See, I just threw it out there. Flint, you'll never know now.
I know right now. I'm in this call. I can hear you.
Maybe
It's,
I'll kill Fiona. Who knows? She'll never show up though.
yeah, okay, she's coming in September. Don't worry.
Fiona gave me lots of notice that she wouldn't be
Tons
here,
of notice. Yeah,
because she's
Who
like
goes
out
to
of.
summer fucking camp when you're 20-something years old?
she's working there, dude. What the fuck?
Oh,
She's a chef
having
at the
sex
fucking
with-
summer camp.
she's having sex with underage kids.
I hope
What?
not.
No,
Okay, all right.
I certainly hope not.
Bryce.
RCMP,
we're recording.
don't listen to this.
No.
Anyway, moving on. I did have a funny story for the D&D, unless you want to continue, Brian. But
No, you
what
go ahead.
happened was they
I
lost.
just want to talk about my fire dragon.
Okay,
Or
no,
my
talk
fire
about
skeleton.
the fire
Fire
skeleton.
dragon.
That was all you wanted?
That was it.
Okay,
He
okay.
pulled out the shower, it lit on fire, it screamed.
was-
we
it
fought
was
the
hilarious.
skeletons. I thought it was funny.
It was really funny. Like that was probably like when it lit on fire. I was like, "Ah, I see what he's doing. That was clever. I like that. That gave me a little giggle."
I hear you, fuckers. Keep going.
All right. Well, I'm telling this story for Bryce's sake, and you can't fucking hear us,
Somebody's got to edit me out, dude. I'm sorry.
dude. I'm making notes. I have a notepad up. Like, oh, we had to pause at 44 minutes. Oh, we got to pause
I'm
it.
only talking so much about my editing because, like, Brian, I know you, and I'm sorry.
You're waiting for the Facebook messages for me bitching about your audio.
Okay.
Okay, can you
You're
can
gonna
you?
bitch about me anyway. I'm preempting the bitching.
All right. Smart maneuver. Smart maneuver. All right. So one more thing happened in D&D. Like it was a really fun night. We went through the whole dungeon. We ended up fighting a boss, which is another dragon, which is a cool throwback to our second session where we had to fight Mecha Dragon, which was really neat. But there was one moment, Aiden had disconnected, and we were just kind of sitting there, and Zelatos or Josh had joined, and his character is a little gnome. And he was role-playing it that every time we beat a group of monsters or just a single boss or whatever, he would pee like either just around or on the monster. So like he peed on the fire skeleton, he peed on like a bunch of cats we killed later. And we were like, this is kind of strange. Maybe we,
Wait, the new guy peed on all your shit.
yeah,
All the dead shit, yeah.
all the dead stuff. So we were like, okay, a little strange, but we were rolling with it. Aiden gets, we end up getting sucked into one of the chests that Brian had set up. So it was a good thing that we weren't trusting them. But then Aiden was being 12 and fucking opened one by himself and got sucked in and was like, all right,
Wait.
Okay.
What's 12? Opening the chest or peeing on the chest?
he didn't pee on the chest. He just opened it by himself. So like no one was
Well,
there.
What is more 12?
I would say opening
that
it by
is a tough
yourself.
call.
Peeing's
I'd
like
say peeing on
4.
it.
Peeing's like 4. Like, come on. Well, whatever. He was having fun. He was. Zelatos, like, we're just ripping it a little bit, but it was fun. Like, I had fun playing with you. You're really fun to play with. So, but we all got sucked into this chest looking for Aiden. But Aiden had disconnected, so we were just kind of waiting, talking, and like we were just talking in character, fucking around. So we were in this chest, and we're trying to talking in character, whatever. And I fucking like Zelatos and I were talking, and I just made an offhand comment like, "Fuck you, man, you're a gnome. Like, how much pee can a fucking gnome hold? You're just like this little tiny container, and you've just been pissing everywhere." And then on the other end of the line, we hear on his fucking phone, just this horrible, like liquidy vomit sound, and then like shuffling around, and then oh shit, and then like nothing. And Brian and I are sitting in the call, and I'm kind of like, Brian's like, did he just throw up? And I was like, maybe? I've never told a joke and made a man throw up before. This is a new experience for me. What happened was, as I was making that offhanded joke, he was halfway through a mug of fucking coffee. And instead of doing a spit take, I guess it was far enough down his throat that he just fucking spewed. It's a phenomenon.
He was beyond the point of spit take, but couldn't just swallow it at that point.
Couldn't swallow it.
Only one option left.
So you were telling your story, and Zelados was mid-drink and threw up.
Yeah, because we were just talking in character, and I just made like an offhanded joke, and he just happened to be like midway through a coffee swig and just... It was like this waterfall sound, and then like, oh shit, like I gotta clean it up, and we're just sitting in call like, huh.
You know what's the most fucked up thing for me to think right now?
What's that?
What the NPC think? What did the NPC think when Zelados was throwing up as you're telling the story?
Just picture like the fucking troll or the Minotaur just sitting there like, yeah, why the fuck are you pissing everywhere? And there's gnomes in the chest with all those shadows. Oh no.
Look at all this gold.
We love you, Zelados. I mean, like, the episode got lost, so you're never gonna hear the recording of that, but...
Wait, the thing
with Flint, though, was...
Whammies episode got
Yeah!
lost?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I was so excited, I was like, I have to wake up, and here's Zelados puking, but no.
His first episode of Wizards and Whammies, he's legit IRL throwing up.
Yeah. Hey man, I'm just that funny. What can I say?
I think that was honestly kind of gross, the whole experience. The part that made me laugh was Flint was like, did I tell a joke so funny he threw up? But then all we hear is like Zelados just like in the distance, like coughing and like spitting the rest of it and like grabbing cleaning supplies. Then he comes back and he says, he made me laugh, and mid-laugh I threw up. And Flint literally like throws his hands in the air. He's like, yes! I did make somebody throw up by making a joke. And I was like,
yeah,
that's the only funny part to me. The rest of it was
a badge of honor.
That was a way to like for somebody who's like he's played D&D obviously before.
Yes.
Want to be like, do I want to join this campaign? Will it be fun or not? Like his first time like, I'm having fun. Do you quit, or if your experience is throwing up in your first D&D campaign, do you quit or do you keep going? Like, what is the measure of fun?
I think you keep going. Fuck it.
It can't get any worse, right?
It's just, yeah, man. He's just gonna watch his fucking coffee when I'm talking. I guess. Shit.
Yes. Who has coffee at 11 p.m.?
Hey, you know what? You gotta stay up. It's late night.
That late?
No, it was like 8 or 9 p.m. That was a ton of fun. D&D was a ton of fun. I guess I can go into my week a little bit before we move on to our topic at hand.
We still got Bryce this week, and we're an hour in.
Oh, you want to fucking... All right, Bryce, so how was your week, buddy? What'd you do?
All right. I got a little bit of heartfelt.
Let's do it.
I'm going to share some whammy stuff right now, as long as with Brian and Flynn. Fortunately, Matt's not here, so I want to hear everybody's take right now. So I got back from Baltimore last week. Obviously, I found out before today's episode, my gaming rig isn't even booting up. I get some fucking tcp/ip.sys error, which is like blue screen. I'll figure it out. Like, I'll just Google it. It'll tell me download driver or some shit like that. Like, it's probably something simple. Hopefully, I don't need to buy like a new motherboard or some shit, but hopefully some like driver issue. I've always been very like driven, and I haven't mentioned this to like Flint or Brian yet. or Matt. I've always been very driven, like how I play games. Like I play one at a time, which is why I play Smite one at a time. I played WoW one at a time, which is why like Flint and Brian, everybody always talks about. They always like have always played these other games like Smash and Soul Calibur and whatever it may be that they know, and I've always admitted like I don't fucking know, and that may be like the generational thing. Maybe I was just gone, which is like weird for say generational thing because me and Brian are pretty much the same age, so
Pretty much.
generational thing doesn't really make a difference. Maybe like console, because I was always a PS4, but like Soul Calibur was on PS4, right, Brian?
I don't think it's been on since like PS3. There's been like a large
So maybe
gap.
so I don't know. The whole
I
whole
also
thing
played
is-
Soul Calibur when I was like 14.
the whole thing is like for me, the podcast has always been like passion, fun. Everybody came for Smite in the beginning. I'm glad that everybody has stuck around with like gaming in general and like really enjoyed what we've done so far. But with like IRL stuff recently, like I haven't played games all this week, and as you know, games for me are very like I'm playing this, I'm playing this, I'm playing this. It's not like I'm playing this and this and this and this, and then I'm playing this. It's like one at a time for me. So for me to not be playing any games right now, like it's like a huge deal for me. And like for when I'm not playing any games, I'm feeling like I'm doing a disservice to you guys. So like I know a lot of you guys like listen to the podcast for Bryce because like you listen, like you like you like I don't know what the correct word is. Like you feel me, you like we're the same person, like we all hammer beers together, we fucking send it, we fucking do whatever. Like people like Brian listen to the podcast, people like Flint listen to the podcast, people like Bryce, people like Matt, like everybody has their own person, their own host they like relate with. So I'm just letting you know that it was hard for me originally. Like I'm going to tell like Brian and Flint this for the first time. Originally, I didn't record on Friday, not necessarily because I couldn't, but because like I feel like it's an injustice to this podcast if my heart isn't into recording every week. So I want to make sure like if you guys want me every week, regardless of like if I come in here and tell you like, yo, this is how my fucking bullshit week was, whether it's work, drinking, whatever, I'm always going to have some bullshit story, listen to fucking Wizards and Whammies, pretty much like this week. Like we just went through Brian and Flint's week. I have not played a game all week, but I was able to relate to them either way. Like I can do that and give like my own like Bryce drinking like perspective. And when Matt's here, I can do that too. So like I can give you like my own perspective and whatever topics we do. Like I'm fine with doing that. But I want you guys to know like it might be next week, maybe next week, like I'll come back and be like, yo, I'm playing this game and this game and this game. And I'll have my own gaming perspective to give you. But at the same time, like I understand Flint, Brian, Whammies, Matt as well. Like if you guys want to like have somebody else come give my perspective who like games every week, like I'm fine with that too, because that's ultimately like what I would want. I know we all have our own thing, and I'm just telling you like week in week out, like this is like a gaming thing, and I just want you guys to know like I don't know if I can give you week in week out gaming every week.
That's fine, dude. Fuck, that's what
As
SideQuest
far as
Arcade's
I'm
all about.
concerned, That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, come in, fucking send
SideQuest
it with
Arcade
us.
is.
Talk about whatever. That's
So I know it's very like heartfelt Brian Flint whammies, but it's like
I get
it's
where you're
been like
coming
it's
from,
been like weighing
100%.
on me like all week, like almost like I feel like I don't deserve, to necessarily like do this with you guys if I don't have that same like obviously I'm fucking
So
sending
kind of
it,
pitch a
drinking
bit of
beers.
like
That's
the
always
difference
my
between the
take.
show, Bryce, since I can tell this is important to you. Like, I 100% relate. Is that exact feeling is basically why VD2 ended.
Yeah.
I was at that point where I didn't even want to play Smite, and I haven't touched Smite since 2 months before we ended VD2, and at this point, it's even been uninstalled. Like, I couldn't have burnt out any harder, and I felt that. I was like, when I talked to Matt, I said our options are replace me or start a new show, and Matt voted to keep the group together. And so when we came to VD or SQA, rather than it being about we're talking about gaming every week and things that are happening in gaming, the pitch for SQA and the theme that I was going for was for gamer friends, whether we gamed this week or not, meeting in the bar and bullshitting on a Wednesday for wings. You know what I mean? Like, we can have some like goofy topics in the community challenge and stuff, but like it was actually far more. SQA is for friends getting together and bullshit. If you're not gaming, but you can relate to the stories or laugh at the stories or put in some commentary, like, that's fine.
All right, that's just what I want
That's-
everybody to know and to expect from me, because I know for the long time whammies who have been here, like they remember like Derek, and Derek was like pretty much more or less like filled my role, and like he did well, and like he fucking cracked me up, and Derek had life decisions come along, and like I took his role, and I don't like necessarily want to step away. I want to like be able to fill like the role that I am. I just want everybody who listens, and like you can tell me like I understand like Brian and Flint, like from what Brian just said, like this is what is meant from the Switch, but like if the whammies would rather have somebody each week to fill in with these guys who can relate to the games that everybody's playing, that's fine, and I can step away and somebody else.
I don't want you to step away.
Hey,
I
no,
know you're
fuck that,
saying
dude.
the whammy side. No. See, here's the thing, though,
I'm
too.
just saying this. So like, I think, to be totally honest with you, that's why the last few weeks
So Bryce
I've
is at that.
asked
I love you
pointed
guys
questions.
level of drunk.
I've
He's
asked
feeling it,
pointed
dude.
questions the last couple of weeks to try to get direct answers from people that maybe not everybody gets. And one of those questions is like, Brian, Flint, and Matt, it's very easy for you guys to talk about party games or fighting games. And when I'm talking about Super Smash or Soul Calibur. And for me, like, I've never fucking played Super Smash. I'm probably never going to play Super Smash. So it's like, I felt like it's my directive to like ask you guys questions. When you talk about motherfucking Super Smash, let me fucking ask you some dumbass off the wall question that a lot of people may know, but like, I don't fucking know. So like,
Yeah, do that. Absolutely.
so I'm going to bring that. This is the way my real life job, right? I'm going to bring this in a perspective of how I work IRL, everybody I work with is a developer. So they write code. And right now, I changed jobs. I'm a quality assurance engineer. So everything that the developers write, I double check to make sure that it works. So it's usually developers are like this, and this. And I'm over here like, look, dude, this is all I needed to do. So usually it's like, oh, so I'm bringing the dumb. I'm bringing the dumb to the conversation. All right. That's all. So if you guys are okay with me bringing the dumb to the conversation every week, let's do it.
I'm
All right.
down for that.
I'm down for that, you noob idiot.
Here's
Let's
the honest
fucking
truth, dude.
relax.
It's a lot
You
of
know-
real talk with Bryce, but I'm
Right.
gonna bring it up to you
No,
guys
it's cool.
beforehand. Then I'll bring up the Matt beforehand.
Yeah, it kind of just sprung it on us, but
Yeah,
Like,
sprung
we
it up.
totally.
Yeah, but
It's about
hey,
the chemistry and like the friends, right? Like one of the things I've even chatted with my wife about is like how I feel like the friendship and the chemistry we all seem to have like really fast was really cool, and I think that's what's probably one of the more important parts of SQA is having that. And as long as you don't mind that if we're like talking about Smash and it's way over your head, then
No.
as long as that doesn't bother you, then like I say we're good to go.
and that's why I brought it up to you guys, because it's more so like me being the one like not keeping up with whatever, and I will like try to like gaming is part of me, and I go through these cycles. Or right now, I'm not playing, and I probably will play again, but it's just like, I don't know, just like one of those things that I'm in a cycle right now, the way I am, that I'm just not playing anything. So
It's I mean, similar to what I was saying before with like it was guys, friends meeting for Wing Wednesday kind of shit and bullshitting. It was never when buzzwords when me and Matt were talking SQA. One of the big ones I must have repeated 15 times in the Facebook chat was this is a podcast by gamers, not a gaming podcast.
Rick Truth.
Really pleased with the four of us. On that
Sure.
note, and it's not meant to be an insult to like any of the people I know, so I don't want anybody to take offense to this kind of thing, but some people will. If you were to leave, I can't think of a single person that would mesh as your replacement.
which is
Like with
why
Flint, when we added Flint, it was like,
which is
yeah,
why
Flint
I
fits it.
wanted to bring it up. No offense, like have this conversation, Brian. I'm not meaning to stop you right now. You keep saying what
Yeah.
you're going to say, but like this is as much like a whammy vote as like our vote. So I totally understand the hard feelings. Like I'm never leaving like our group, the whammies. Like I'll be a whammy host or fucking, colleague, fucking top whatever, defeating Kyle, being top whatever, top whammy if somebody takes my spot. But I'm just like, I want everybody to make a decision. Like, if you're cool with me doing like what I'm doing because you enjoy me as me, like that's what I'm gonna make sure between the whammies. I know, like Brian, I fucking love you, Flint. I love you, Matt. I love you. I know you guys are never gonna be like, fuck off, Bryce. But the whammies are the ones who listen week in and week out. I love you guys too. But like, I totally understand like where you're coming from. Like, if you want somebody to like deliver more than me, like,
Nah, dude, you bring a special
You
energy.
bring-
Like I'm still thinking back to our arguments about like during our tournament. When I say arguments, and we were fighting. What was it like? Samus versus Sora.
What?
You
Yeah.
had no idea who either of those people were. Probably the funniest part of it was you Google searching and just being like, Sora's gonna fucking melt when he sees them titties. Or what I can't remember who Cloud was fighting. You were like, look, all I'm saying is I search up Cloud and the first thing I find is gender bent and kawaii. Man, like that was the funniest shit I think.
I can
for
bring
me
you that
in the
every
entire
week.
episode, and it actually stemmed from the fact that you had no fucking idea who
Yeah.
any of those people were, but you went and Google searched it. We don't need to replace that energy. We need that in there. It just brings
Hell
a
yeah,
whole
dude.
new
Hell
dynamic
yeah.
to it, dude. So like, don't be undercutting your things. The funniest parts of those episodes were that shit.
Yeah, dude.
We all knew exactly who these people were, but the fact that you're like, nah, looking at these people on Google, they no.
No
Like,
clue, dude.
That was good shit.
those are definitely like the funniest parts of those episodes for me.
So that's
I
my
think-
weekend. That's what I wanted to get through. I just had like it was weighing heavy on my chest, and
Hey, I
I
get it
get
out.
it.
That's what it's
Cassidy, Brian's
for,
gonna
dude.
be upset either way.
I
so
know what it
hopefully
was like, but from the purely Smite side, where I was just like, I'm not contributing. I'm not even like, I'm bullshitting these patch notes because I'm just going on like years of Smite knowledge, but I'm not playing. And at the time I had no desire to play, as it was like a whole new level where it was like, you're like, you'll probably come back. And I was like, maybe I will. But I felt that like, I'm done kind of in my heart when I quit Smite. And I was just like, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do with the show.
Should
So
we
I
talk
100%
about Smite
can believe.
right now with the patch at all?
Well, we got
patch. I've heard
got
it's
the-
great or something.
mid-season patch looking good, but
Brian,
but I
Brian,
want to get to my
everybody is
fucking
telling
week
me
real
that
quick.
me and you, Brian, will come back to this patch. Flint, is that true?
Ah,
Tell me and Brian.
Nothing bringing me
Brian,
back.
this is what I want.
bring
Flint,
back.
Flint, convince me and Brian to come back to this patch right now.
Listen,
That's
all
what I wanna
right,
hear.
crit passives are gone. Fucking Hunbats, Naja, Artemis, no more crit passives. You got different ones, works different.
Okay.
So no more RNG at level 1 getting fucking crit 3 times by Artemis in the dual lane, all right? Masks are back, and they're broken. They're really broken. In fact, they're so broken that at PTS, people are asking them to be removed. Give you negative stats now, but the negative stats really don't matter because they give you so many positive stats. Like Bumba's mask gets you over to 1,000 speed. It's ridiculous.
Oh, masks.
Yeah,
Is
Bumba's mask,
Ragna's
Ranga's mask.
Is that back?
Yeah, fuck yeah, it's back. But it's
How's
better.
that do?
It's busted. Fuck 'em busted. Gives you like minus 30 movement speed, but like 20% more ability damage.
Okay.
It's dumb. They didn't do the math on it. Fuck, I don't know. You can only queue solo and ranked, which some people love, some people hate. Fucking.
I feel like the top
Mildly
5%
debatable.
love it, and the rest of the population's like, "What the fuck
But
are you
that's
doing?"
PTS. That's PTS, right?
No, well, it's coming to.
It's coming to life.
There's
soon.
a whole discussion I have about Smite or High Res's PTS.
Yeah,
cycle.
we'll get to that.
Our Realm
Oh,
Royale
you're
discussion.
so right.
Oh, you're so right. Speaking of, so right. I'm just gonna fucking fire through my week here quick before we get into another
Should
fucking.
I fire off right
All right.
now? Go ahead, finish it off.
All right.
About Smite
Listen.
before I fire off.
Speaking of party games, hey, don't worry about it, buddy.
Are we
speaking
talking
of,
about Smite? You're moving on.
no, I didn't play Smite this week. Fuck that.
Listen. Okay. Listen. Okay. All right. Oh, you're so right. Listen.
Drunk Bryce. Hey, Flynn, talk about your week. Okay,
Now-
I have
we're never
nothing, there's nothing written down, so I'm just like looking at the lamp, looking at Brian. We're looking at Flint.
Is this why you write notes? Because you just. Is
I
this
probably should write notes, so I'm not.
fuck
fucking
it. Who needs
Brian
them?
right
I think I wrote them the first 2 times I came on, and then I still fucking word vomited everywhere. So I was like, you know what? I'll just. So I've been playing a lot of Icons Arena. Fucking good ass party game. I've actually been getting really good at it. Joining characters like Cult. I don't know her name. She's like Zangief and fucking that green Gamora from.
Zangief.
Yeah, Zangief fucking throwing people spinning
What
around.
about Blanca?
Is great. I've been having a ton of fun playing with Kurt Dude for the last about a week. He gets on. He's been bodying me. I guess he was semi-pro in Smash
Kurt
Brawl.
Dude is shit. Kurt
Dude,
Dude
he's
is shit.
he's insane at the fucking game. He's insane in party
What's
games.
the name of it?
Icons Combat Arena. It's free on Steam if you want to try it out. It's really fun. It's like Super Smash Brothers Melee.
It's
made
his own characters.
own
Or-
characters. Yep. Totally.
So this is like what's a fish game you had me playing?
Oh, fucking Slap City? Yeah, it's like Slap
Yeah.
City. Both those are good. Both those are
Is
excellent
it
games.
like Slap City or better than Slap City?
It's more polished than Slap City. Let's put it that
So
way.
don't ever play Slap City.
You can play Slap City if you want.
No,
It depends
Flint,
what you like more. What do you like
Flint.
more?
Do I play Slap City or play this game?
I would play Icons first.
All right, Bryce, let him finish.
He's,
All
gonna,
right.
he's gonna fucking steer us in the wrong direction, Brian.
Listen, man, I'm just saying Slap City has better Slap City has worse servers. So if you want to play online, probably want to play Icons because Icons has
Donkey
better
told
servers.
us not to play Slap City. Is all I'm saying.
Well, Donkey, you know what? He tells you to play not a lot of games if you listen to him. But playing a lot of Icons, that's a lot of fun. And then I've also been shitting on a bracket. So if you guys don't follow Define Pride, you haven't seen him on the show already. He's an awesome dude. He's been running tournaments and brackets in his own Discord server. And one of them was most annoying thing in Smite. I know what we're
What
talking
kind of
about.
bracket, Flint?
Yeah. And so how you can participate in the bracket is you made a prediction, say which thing is more annoying between like 32, and you predict all the way through to see who's the winner. Let me just tell you, fellas, I'm in
What's
first
the
place.
website? What is the website?
Challenge.com.
CHALLO
NGE.
NGE.
Challenge.com. And I have been
Hatmaster's
fucking-
brother.
on that. All right.
Hatmaster's not Hatmaster, his brother.
Has been making it. He made a tournament. Most annoying thing is Smite. You have 32 options. You have to pick and do a bracket. First round, I'm thinking most people are getting like 5 out of 16, 6 out of 16, 14 out of 16 on Young Manatee. I know what pisses people off in Smite. Don't fucking at me. I got this.
So where are we at right now? What are the
Right
options?
now, we're in the final options. It's F7 Warriors
So-
versus Random Lag, which is more
If
annoying.
I make an account right now,
You could vote
today,
right now. Yeah, it's closing today.
Okay,
It's going to be
so
out by the
let's
time this episode's
pretend-
done.
I'm making an account.
Do it.
Hold on. I'm going to make an account right now.
Okay, well,
Everybody
while you're
who's
doing that, how about
listening-
I fucking explain the bracket? How does that sound?
Hold on. No, we're going to do it together. We're going to do it
I
together.
think we're
Everybody
going to do a
who's
community
listening.
challenge after you're
All
Okay.
right. Yeah, I think we can talk about it.
We'll get to Rum Royale next week.
Challenge
Fortunate.
CH. What's a website? Everybody who's
Challenge.
listening?
You know what? I'll link it to you. How about that?
CHALLONGE.
LLONGE. And make an account
Okay.
and vote.
Flint linked it to me, boys. So it's CHALLONGE.com/MJ.
BRZ. KOC.
Letters are
The
fucking
bracket's
hard.
gonna be done by the time the whammies hear this, boys. It's over. I've already won.
All
It's
right,
too late.
So I'm going to tell
I
you what
win.
I'm voting for. So we got allies in fucking base, F7 Warriors, Random Lag,
Are you
Loki,
reading the whole
backdooring.
bracket? Just let Flint tell his story, Bryce.
I'm gonna vote though. F7 Warriors. Flint voted for Random Lag over Loki backdooring.
Absolutely.
You're fucking losing.
Listen. So there's 32.
All right, go ahead.
We've got down
Go
to the
ahead.
final two. F7 Warriors versus Random Lag. I just want to say there's been 31 picks. I've gotten fucking
Oh,
26
it's
of
already
them.
finished.
It's already finished.
said
I've
you
already
bullshit
won. That was the whole story, Bryce. I won the fucking bracket. We did a prediction
Wait,
like it was
wait,
March
how
Madness,
did you
and I
win the
dunked
bracket?
on these kids because you
Well,
have to.
how did you win the bracket? Tell me how you won this.
All right, you have to make
It's like
predictions.
winning a hockey pool.
Yeah,
Come
you
on,
have to
Bryce.
fucking make predictions on each matchup.
So who did
You had
you
a day.
pick overall? Who did you pick
Random
overall?
Lag's winning overall.
Everybody vote for F7 Warriors. Fuck Flint.
Fucking do it. It's all right. I got a fucking comfortable lead right now. It's at the end of the day. I've already won. It's too late. I have like 40 more points than the person behind me. I've won this bracket. I have predicted every matchup. I have 100% pick rate in the last 2 rounds, Bryce. It's over.
Next bracket, we're fucking battling.
Yeah, next bracket we are.
Next
And you know what?
bracket.
Maybe in the future, we'll have a bracket prediction set up like this for SQA. So when we're doing our meme anime brackets, maybe the Miamis can vote in. We'll
Yeah,
we'll have
so
a
we
little
can
more
do it
input.
without Matt's bitch ass complaining and making shit up.
All right, Bryce. Whatever you want, babe. All I'm saying is Micro Manatee.
All right, Bryce, me like that.
All right, Bryce. Fucking Micro Manatee out here winning the bracket. That's all I'm saying. Okay, these guys, all these guys in Define Pride's Discord came at me and they're like, no, we know it's
All right.
right. I was
Let
so
me
sure.
ask
I
you
said,
this.
my title of my prediction was, I'm right and you're wrong. And guess what? Guess what? I'm right. And everyone
How
else
did
is
Donkey
wrong.
Kong win last week?
Because Donkey Kong has big, meaty paws and he just fucking
How
ripped
did he
Pikachu
win?
in half. It's over.
That's it.
That's it. That's all you need to know. You watch,
That's
fucking
what the-
watch the episode. You weren't there.
I thought it was a tie. The whammy said tie.
No, the Whammies voted DK.
No, they voted tie. Brian,
They certainly didn't. They voted
DK
DK.
won.
Up how mad? How mad, Bryce? How mad? Too mad. All right. So my week's been playing icons. I've had a blast with that. I've been doing some World of Warcraft as well. Doing an alt character. Met the nicest man on the face of the planet. I was fucking questing around in the start and troll area, and I was just doing my shit. And an orc man, level 100, flew up, dropped next to me, opened a trade window, gave me 25 gold, 3 bags, and he said, "Have a nice day." I said, "Thank you very much. You're a saint." I flew off. It was great. You don't see that shit.
My goal.
Dude, 25 gold at level like 4, that's
Dude,
like,
you're right.
I'm rolling.
You're right.
I'm like, I can
You're right.
I can buy all of Duratar with 25 gold. I have a
You're
fucking mercenary gang behind me. All right, boys, you're gonna kill these things for me. We're gonna fucking quest it up. It's gonna be great. It has been beautiful. I've been having a lot of fun with WoW. I haven't been playing as much because Icons is kind of taking over my my life. I'm gonna learn how to play that and practicing for Smash Ultimate more than anything. On that, I haven't played much Smite. Like maybe 1 or 2 games. Fragged out. Baron Samdi's still broken, so it's like I'm still not really playing that game. But that's
Yo,
it. That's
I
all.
saw the fucking Outlaw skin. I thought that was Baron Sandy.
No, that's Outwash. That's a pretty
How
good skin
awesome-
though.
That is a good skin, though.
That is a good skin. They're buffing Outwash in the new patch, by the way. So if you hate him, maybe don't come back. They're buffing his ult, and
Baron Sandy is a mage too, though, right?
it is, yeah, he is.
So, all right. So, can you? All right. So, from somebody who stopped playing Smite, what about this mid-season patch should make me start playing again? Because I've heard that a lot. Like, this is a patch that will make people come back.
They've done a lot of item balance. It's like in the right direction, and they've also done a lot of quality of life stuff with ranked. So, solo queuing is great for the top 5%, like Brian was saying, but also they've made it so if you get someone who disconnects early in the game, and you have to surrender at 5 minutes, no one who's on the team that surrenders at 5 minutes loses any TP except the guy that disconnects. He loses double. So it's kind of like a punishment system for people fucking off.
If I come back right now and we start playing ranked, we bet the
Except you can't play ranked together.
Yeah, you can't play ranked. You have to stream snipe me. Yeah. Unless we play ranked joust, then we can still queue as 3. But who the fuck?
I honestly think that's a stupid call. I think, as much as they want to appease the 5%, like it falls into this weird spot where I've always hated how much the pros and streamers, like some people are like, you need to cater to your streaming community. And I'm like,
well, yeah,
okay,
kind of.
They do have kind of a public face for your brand, even if they're not like paid members of your brand. So you do kind of have to, handle that interface properly. But then when you've got the pros just going, look, make it only solo queue because I want better matchmaking. I mean, I still say it, and it's one thing I'll leave almost always bitter about. I actually don't think matchmaking's anywhere near as broken as people think it is. I think it's a whole lot of blaming matchmaking for all of your excuses, like for everything. You're just like, nope, this person feeding. Like, I considered myself a good player when I was there, and we queue all up, and you play with your friends, and your friend's feeding in lane, you're like, oh, he's just struggling. But when the random does it, you're like, fuck matchmaking. And if anything, the community's reaction to matchmaking is part of the reason I'll never go back. It's just like I couldn't take it when I was in there. I was just like,
it's always a picture like, look at this bad matchup. Hi-res, please.
Always.
It's
like even, and I have a hard time. I can't respect anybody's opinion who's blaming matchmaking for everything. And Hi-Rez, in my opinion, is still doing this, like, making changes to make people think matchmaking's better, but they've got their head so deep in the sand that as soon as one person feeds in their game, they're going to still say matchmaking's broken.
Yeah,
but
it was the same thing when levels came out.
I've done my pieces on it. I honestly never want to go back to that discussion because it's just like, fuck.
But it's unfortunate, like, Brian, like, we need you to go back to that discussion.
I know.
I mean, we're an hour and a half already. We just finished our weeks.
At this point, we're going to go to community challenge
like
and call her because my
like,
wife's getting home soon, and I've got packing to do because I'm moving.
No, so we can talk about that in the future. We'll see how the weeks play out with because this is obviously like the first week since it's been.
I actually think there'll be less participation in ranked. I think that's ultimately the biggest thing is they're going to have these. They're saying they're going to have better matchmaking when I've said it's often a population problem.
And you're the one to make this. You're the one to make this.
And so they go to this thing where people are like, oh, it'll be better matches. But how many people in there are duo queuing with their friends? It's a whole social thing. The first time I quit World of Warcraft was because all my friends quit. The only reason I probably don't play Heroes of the Storm instead of Smite was because Smite had all of my friends in it. League of Legends I quit because it just fucking sucked, even though all my friends were in it. And I had to leave for a funner game, which was Smite at the time. But, that social aspect of the game, and when you take that out and you make it this now sole single-player competitive, and the game has been that social part of it this whole time, I actually think people are going to stop queuing ranked. Or they're going to queue more Joust because they want to play with their friends, which then they're going to realize Joust sucks.
Assault or Arena. They changed Arena, right, Flint?
They're going to, they changed how the respawn timers work, and they changed how tickets work. So it's a lot clearer how you lose tickets. How does that affect
Arena in general? Like,
they make it better.
So, from my normal
I had no idea
Arena.
Yeah, they changed a whole bunch of stuff. Do I have to get the fucking patch on stuff like it's VD2 again?
No. If you haven't played yet, like, don't tell me. Like, I don't give a fuck.
I haven't played yet.
Tell me later.
But All I'm saying
We
is
can
like
move on. We can move on.
it's
I'm
it's
just
going to be
wondering.
better. So like
I'm
they're
just
they're
saying,
they're just
cutting-
doing. You
I
go.
Like
still
for your
hate
dad.
the
Look at
decision
him
to
back
remove
there.
duo
Look
queue.
at him. Your
Removing
dad back
duo-
there who fucking is arena man. He doesn't
I mean,
know.
if they fix the
Look at
ticket
him.
system and respawn system,
Ask
I'm
him.
actually okay with it because it was kind of a strange system
What,
anyway.
ask your old man how it makes arena better.
He hasn't played it yet. The patch hasn't come out.
I don't really
I
care
want
about
your
those
old man
changes.
on the
My final
podcast,
point, then we'll go to the
so-
community challenge. If
Yeah,
Bryce
let's-
will let it happen.
Yeah, let's
Taking
go to.
away the ability to do a
No,
queue
let's
is
get
like
Clint's
taking
old
away
man.
dungeons and WoW and making everything about questing.
Yeah,
All of a
Clint.
sudden, it's a solo experience only, unless you
Macro.
want to go do the non-serious content.
yeah. It's
It doesn't make any sense to me.
it's gonna be.
For a couple of people that'll think it'll improve matchmaking by having a lot of people that find their enjoyment from playing with a friend that are all just going to quit. You're going to have population drop in it, and then it's just going to ruin the matchmaking worse than this fix will ever do.
I
But
don't-
they're
like-
trying to appease the people that make too much noise about matchmaking that shouldn't be talking about matchmaking because they're still using bullshit, ad hoc, fucking, oh, well, this person fed, so clearly matchmaking's broken.
They I think it'll make it better in the short term, probably not the long term. Because balancing parties was always a difficult part. That's why they took away the 5-man queue. But they're also introducing the time queue. So I remember like season 1 where they had the countdown for ranked. Like he was like, okay, this is a 5-minute queue, and we're gonna spend 5 minutes trying to find the best match possible. So they're doing that in conjunction with removing parties. So the
I actually
idea,
like that because I liked it better. I don't understand why it was
yeah,
worse matchmaking. I can understand on that system why it's harder to progress upwards. There's
Yes.
not as much room in that system to kind of mix and mingle and test. You can also then have wildly different MMRs, so you can have some matches that are just absolutely obscenely skewed in the higher tier, but in the mid tier, like usually the mid tier is so
pretty.
here's
balanced.
the massive people that have a fucking fluctuation. I think Smite can do a million things to matchmaking, and
People still
it'll
gonna
never
bitch.
feel any different for 98% of players.
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree.
It's just statistically,
Just
if I
the
go
people are
reach in
just
my fucking
dumb.
sock drawer and I have 2 black socks and 98 white socks, maybe a couple of them have some gray on it. And
You
I
never
dig
notice.
in my hand and I pull out the fucking. Most of the time, I'll get white socks, and that's
What about the
98%
Sunday
of the
with
fucking
black
player
socks?
base. But whatever.
Is what it is, man.
Let's
Yeah.
just move on to the community challenge.
Absolutely.
We can stop trying to herd cats, and then we'll call it this week, and we'll go back to Realm Royale for next week.
Absolutely. I'm sure they'll patch something new in the game that'll make us bitch by that time. I think that'll happen.
I just turned to the Discord to go pull up the community challenge, and all I see is Bryce's post. His face when Flint says something dumb.
Hold on here. What did he post here?
He's just got this, just like you can imagine the look on his face, but that just caught me off guard. You posted that an hour ago.
After this episode,
Oh my god,
I laid down
Bryce.
to you. I laid down to you, boys. I'm about to go fucking sip some more bourbon.
You can't even say bourbon correctly. Like,
You can't even say bourbon, Bryce. You are fucking
I'm about to
fully
go sip some
sent.
more bourbon, smoke a cigar. So respond to me in the whammies chat, DM me.
you have people
Hey.
hitting you up Monday night.
Are
Like,
you just
what?
vanishing mid-recording?
This is
You think it's Flint wrapping this up?
real feel hours. Real feel.
Hey, we're almost there, man. We got community challenge,
We're
and you're clean.
almost there.
You're clean.
Look, Bryce, if you
Hey.
need to go take some nap and some ice cream,
No, I'm
we
good.
understand.
I'm good. I just want it to be because I know right now the message I delivered, whether it be Flint, Brian, or Matt, are gonna give me the same fucking answer. So whammies, I understand. Like this community challenge.
Let's hear what the whammies have to say
All
about the
right.
community challenge, Brian. What was the community challenge this week?
All
again?
right. So the community challenge this week was have you ever had your game account hacked? Tell us about it. So a bunch of people had a real easy time with this community challenge. Kirk Dude opens it up with easiest community challenge ever. Never got a hacked account because my
That's
password.
not a fucking answer, Kurt, dude.
Aiden says the same thing.
Aiden, you're 12. Flint, get your dad back here.
He's
Get him
not
back
coming
here.
back. He's going out doing some country stuff. Don't-
Yeah. Has he had his fucking shotgun account banned? Probably.
I don't think he's ever had an account hacked. He works in IT.
He might have.
He's changed his password constantly.
Flint, he
All
might
right.
have.
He probably hasn't. All
He
right.
might have. All right.
All right. Dep Nation says my WoW account got hacked after I stopped playing. I found out because they just took all my shit and deleted my characters. I had one of each class at max level. Tried to come back at the next expansion and my account was banned. Had an account since vanilla, got pissed, never got it back. Fuck you, Blizzard. Which is actually surprising. Blizzard's usually really good with dealing with
Yeah.
hackers.
You would
There's
think
like
with
a
it.
there's like a common theme through the rest of these, though.
Yeah.
I'm surprised
Well,
that Blizzard is like that.
Welcome to half the community challenges. I have one or two stories I think are interesting. Pitch a community challenge so I can tell the stories.
But all
then
the
get
community
other-
challenges, though, are like Blizzard, like related to getting hacked.
'Cause
Everybody's WoW.
WoW is
account
one of the
is
most
getting
common accounts to get hacked. Fucking like, I'll tell mine. So like, my roommate got hacked, and I actually think my account got hacked because he got hacked, and I'm pretty sure he was the one that because he had my password. Because you can like double, triple, quadruple, quintuple box World of Warcraft. I don't know if you still can, but back in the day you could, and that wasn't against the terms of service because every single one of them was a different account. So he would like put one Smite account. We didn't even have two monitors back then, and he would like set himself to follow and like power himself through dungeons and like power level himself using other accounts. And so he would always use mine, and he got hacked. And then like 2 weeks later, I got hacked. And I'm pretty confident it was him, but whatever. And I remember because like when I was like 16 and I'd make a game account and they'd ask, back in the day, in the 90s, never use your real name on the internet,
Yeah, fuck
And,
that. Who use that real name.
holy fuck. That was like the big thing they teach you in school. Like, don't use your real name. I don't know what they're going to do with it, but they're going to do bad stuff with it. And so when I'd go fill out like a game account that I'd play as a kid, they'd be like, what is your first name? First name, fuck you. Last name, suck my dick, right? Like,
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
the bullshit. What's your, any random shit. It's like, what's your email? Fuckoff.com. Like, fucking 15. I'm an edgelord. Like, and the World of Warcraft was actually the first account I ever was like, it was like 19. And I was like, I don't think it's actually that big a deal if WoW has my full name and my address. I don't know. It's far enough in now that like that fear in the 90s of using your name was no longer there, So
Yeah.
I put it in, and I'm pretty glad that I did, because then when my World of Warcraft got hacked, I actually had to like prove my identity, and then they reissued everything. When I was on the phone with the guy, my account was hacked by somebody in China. Because there's like a lot of Chinese gold farming, at least there was, 8 years ago. And if I had just done my typical 15-year-old like bullshit with the names, I probably would have never got my stuff back. So Nevaeh, she says, I got another story too, but Nevaeh says, my Spotify account got hacked a few months ago after being dormant for over a year. I just signed up for a premium trial, and 2 days later, the email address was changed. Tried contacting customer service and couldn't reach anyone because their mobile website is shit, so it's gone forever. No CC info tied to the account, so it's whatever. Otherwise, I've been good. 2FA FTW, I don't know what that means. Edited to add the announcement for the challenge. Didn't say
How's
game
your
account.
Spotify account, though? That's awkward.
I'd almost just be worried if you were like paying for something and it was hacked and then you couldn't log into it to cancel your credit card on it. So you'd have to. Well, she has no credit card information tied to it, so I guess she's okay.
She's clean. She's clean.
Breezif says same thing here. My Spotify account was hacked for an unknown amount of time. I paid for the plan that allowed multiple listeners on one account, so I never even knew it was hacked until I listened to my year-in review playlist and had never heard even half of the, never heard half of the songs.
Yo, who's
A
listening to
massive
Mongolian
password
throat singing
email
on my
change
fucking
that account
smartphone?
solved my problem.
Sounds like Breezy's fucking playlist is trash.
Maybe the person who stole his account's playlist was trash. He says he'll never forget really rocking out in his drive home to be abruptly hit with some sort of mariachi-esque type electro beat.
Hey, Post Malone had mariachi band come to congratulations. Okay, Breezy, you come back with this. We'll talk about it.
All right. Zealotos
Brian
says,
don't know nothing about that.
Zealotos says my original Steam account, Zealotos, was hacked by this
Zillow.
Russian guy.
Yo, fuck this puking motherfucker.
What the fuck?
He is like legit not a gamer anymore. If you throw up playing Dungeons and Dragons, can you even throw up? You can't even respond.
Do you just say, can you even throw up if you've already thrown up playing Dungeons and Dragons, Bryce?
Listen,
I don't think that's how that works. I
I'm
don't think you
making
have like a certain amount of
this is
pukes you
my
can do in your life. Like you got like
this is the
infinite
Bryce interpretation of gaming.
interpretation.
Interpretation. You cannot throw up and then throw up later. What are we doing right now? What is the gaming fucking
Community
thing?
challenge?
What
What's
is
with
the community challenge?
Did
Have you ever had your game account hacked?
That's not the same.
I have
You
no
threw
idea.
up
What are you talking
Up
about?
and Dungeons and Dragons?
Bryce, just sit down. All right, we'll finish this
I was
community
threw up.
section and then you can go
You
take a nap.
threw up in your gaming account because you threw up in Dungeons and Dragons?
All right.
What?
You want me to fire off
Get me outta
Zelatos here,
here.
Brian? I'll
Get me
fire
out
it
of
off.
here.
Go
Get
for
me out
it.
of here.
Go
Zelatos.
for
Zelatos
it.
says, my original Steam account,
Yeah.
Zelatos, was hacked by this Russian guy. The only thing I had on it was the orange box.
Russian guy must have been throwing up. Get me out.
I didn't find out till 2 years later because I didn't have a PC and switched to console. I never got it back. I also had an account on this game called Luna Online hacked. I had over $600 worth of gear stolen, including this 0.0004% drop rate shield from a box that could only be acquired once a week. I was one of the 2 in the server that had one. Customer service refused to help. Feels bad, man. Dude, that's rough. Like,
It feels fucking Dungeons and Dragons.
it's rough when like your account gets hacked, but then it's even worse when the fucking company's like, nah, we can't do anything about that, man. Sorry. Because it's like, at least you had the chance to get it back after it was taken away. Unfortunate. You fella comes in and says, never been hacked. That's all he had to say. Congratulations, you made it. You haven't been hacked. Good job. Cox in the box. Hey man, how's it going? Said, how my WoW
Long
account.
time no see, Nick.
Yeah, long time no see, man. It's been a while since I've seen that name. Fuck, he said, had my WoW account hacked during Mist of Pandaria. I'm not exactly
course
sure
you
at the
did.
time. I had been playing for at least 3 months and it wasn't active, so the email I received confirming my character transfer surprised me. Called Blizzard that day, and I told them that I did not do that, and it was most likely a hacker. They stopped all transfers and reverted everything within 3 days, even after I told them I had no immediate plans to play again at the time. Now I'm playing again. So there you go. Blizzard
He's
came
playing
through.
been nonstop, dude. Hit up Cox in the box. You're looking for somebody you love it, your ass up. Cox in the box.
Yeah, imagine that.
He might hit you with this level fucking sad story, but Cox in the box is one of the dudes like, you need help leveling? Nick will help you out.
Hell yeah, dude.
If
Brian?
May's too busy, I guess.
Yeah, May will help you out.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Nick,
May will help you out.
oh, Nick, you helped me. You haven't helped Brian. Wow, dude. Oh, Nick, you knew Brian before. Oh my
I
Nick, are you
I don't even know what he's
doing,
saying,
Bryce.
so I'm just gonna keep reading.
We'll just keep reading.
Yeah, Panda Fight. Hey, welcome, Panda Fight.
Nick,
You're a
you
new
have
name.
not helped Brian.
Panda Fight, new guy
Oh
to
my
the
God.
community, it looks
Hey,
like.
May.
So,
May
welcome.
May is the girl, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. You right.
May's a
right.
sweetheart.
May's a sweetheart. Thank you very much for helping us through dungeons. Panda Fight, welcome to the community. Says, had my Diablo 3 account hacked the second day I owned the game. Oof. Blizzard ended up reverting the account, but it was a very frustrating not being able to play for a day. Hell yeah, dude. Fuck.
That'd be yeah.
do you get that day 1 content, then day 2 you can't play it? Ooh. Feels bad. Bro says never hacked SQA clean using our patented Mr. Clean emote. Very good for you, Fro. And Dirtnap's dad, PS4 comes in and says, my WoW account was hacked once. Apparently my character started selling gold. Mind you, I had a dwarf named Crazy Pete, but he was not a gold farmer like his dad Pickaxe Pete. They were really easy to work with, and my account was restored with no problems at all. I don't know what you're talking about, Bryce, because like 4 of those fucking Blizzard stories, like 3 of them turned out good. Blizzard was coming through on their promises.
Young Pickaxe though could have turned out to be a cocaine dealer. What? Young Pickaxe.
The episode title is just Bryce gets blasted and no one knows what's going on.
Young Pickaxe.
I was gonna say Drunk Bryce is like herding cats or something.
Yeah,
that's
better. I like
Bryce.
that better.
Drunk Bryce.
Bryce
All
gets
right,
blasted.
Flip. Before I tell my story, we wrap it up.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a game account?
Actually herding cats out here. Holy shit. So, my old school
my
RuneScape
cats
account
are easier to herd.
got hacked. And the email account associated with it also got hacked. I can't access either of them. But the last thing I got was like password request confirmations through my email for RuneScape, and I just kind of ignored it because it was like 4 years later. I was sitting there, I'm like, I don't play RuneScape, so I don't care. But someone out there took my account. I hope you're enjoying it, sir, and I hope you're enjoying the email that goes with it, because Microsoft is a bitch, and they wouldn't give me my email back, my old one. Yeah. Other than that, I've been very careful with my passwords. I've been very fortunate. Never had my Smite account hacked. Never had my Steam account hacked. Any of that stuff. So, fingers crossed that keeps going.
So I'll tell one story, and it's kind of only half fits the community challenge. So we'll call it post community challenge right now. And so I played this game years ago between stopping playing Diablo 2 and before picking up World of Warcraft, and it was called Conquer Online. Don't bother looking it up unless you want to see how bad a game can be. Conquer Online. It was absolute shit. But my friend at the time, like I don't know, high school, you make this big point about best friends. My best friend at the time, who I don't talk to at all anymore for different reasons, and he got this girlfriend, and she was playing Conquer. So we were playing like way better games than Conquer, talking about picking up World of Warcraft, doing a bunch of whatever. I think we were still playing a bit of Diablo, and his girlfriend was playing it. And, you know, for the social side of gaming, I was like, all right, fuck it. I'll pick up this game and try playing Conquer.
Game. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah.
What's that?
So this doesn't look like a good game at all. I'm just throwing that out there.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't a good game. I got into the game and they were explaining how everything works, and I went, "This isn't a good game." But somehow I ended up playing it for 2 years because I'll play shit games for the social aspect. But the one thing about the game that was super addicting, despite it being really just like, it's one of those games that's like almost impossible to progress unless you do like a bunch of microtransactions. Before microtransactions were like accepted. Like, it was back when microtransactions were like the scummiest, like pay to win stuff, like the scummiest you could ever do before it went to like mainstream gaming, like years ago, like 10, 12 years ago. But the one thing this game had was this really small redneck community feel that I've never seen like anywhere else, where almost everybody on the server knows your name. And see, it's like, you know, I was playing whatever, we'll just say Happiness. And it was like, we're playing Happiness. And, oh, everybody knows who Happiness is. Many people knew what my first name was. You know, people knew what time I typically came on. It's like, oh, hey, you know, people like, oh, you know, Happiness is on now. And sometimes people would just hang out in the center of town, and it doubled as like a group chat kind of thing. And it was really weird where, yeah, it was just this mostly small community. And then because we all got kind of into it, and you start to get kind of connected with these people, that you're playing this absolute shit game, but then just chatting with people was fun. But then hearing the drama, it was like a fucking soap opera, just with all the drama.
God.
If there was 2 or 3 girls in there that would just whisper random people and try to cyber with them. And that was like how they got off. And like, whatever, if that's what you need to do. And they'd be like messaging me, and I'm like, but not like needing to pay for it, no cameras or anything. It was just like they just wanted to type it, and I'm like, no. But then they also had boyfriends, and then this guy would find out that this person was cybering with his girlfriend when he was asleep, and so we'd hunt them down and try to PK them when it was this weird fucking community, just like hillbilly for a video game. It was interesting as fuck. And so I got one of my friends, the kind of guy who's just like, he was the kind of guy that does the stereotypical teenage girl thing of I hate drama, but then his life is always drama because he's usually stirring 90% of it. But I hate drama. But they really just like, they live off it.
Really
like it's
love
more
it.
important
I
than air to them,
that.
one of those kind of guys. And when I quit the game, because like I stopped being friends with the guy actually that got me into it, I was like, why am I still playing this piece of shit game? I gotta go do better things with my time. And so I gave him my account. I was like, just fucking take it. I had a pretty high level character, like 114, of the most popular class. And for some reason, like, he played it, and he was still playing it for a long time. And like 2 years later, a lot of the people that were there before and I recognized were still there. There was still the drama. And of course, my buddy that I got into it, the center of drama, he was often like the center of the drama queen in this thing. And I came back and I was like, I'm thinking about playing some Conquer again. I don't know why. I played it for like 3 months just to pick it back up. I don't know. Just kind of had a craving for it. And so I said to him, hey, you still using my old account? And he went, nope. And I said, cool. So I went, because it never had the email reset, the email was still my main email, I was able to just password reset the account. And I password reset it, and there was a bunch of loot on it. And I went, well, okay, I want to play a different class, though. I don't want to play with this character. And so I took all of the loot off of it and sold it to buy loot or gear for my other character.
Yeah.
And that I was playing, and it was Blue Man. But the thing was that account was LM Blue Man for the Lord Master Blue Man that I think I talked about when I talked about the origin of my name that I used to use when I was a kid. But then the new character I made was Blue Man. So the name was the same as the old account. And the guy, what happened and Shane told me this afterwards, he sold my account for real money to a different player that was then using it for like a year and a half.
Oh my God.
And I was told this after I sold all of the gear and profited on it, and then was using a character that had the same name as him, or same name as the login of the old account.
Oh no. So you hacked your own account.
So in that sense, I kind of became the hacker by hacking my own account.
Brian becomes a hacker man. Oh no.
So this guy was using his alternate accounts, but none of them were as high level as that account. And you know what the fucking the salt on the wound for it is? Because like that was one of the games where you had to make a shop and you'd have to go to the marketplace and set your character in the marketplace. And so you'd set your character in the marketplace to sell your stuff. And so he goes to the marketplace and he sees the character, which wasn't Happiness. Happiness came in World of Warcraft. I think it was like Bell. And he sees the character that he used to have selling all of the gear he worked a year and a half to get.
Oh no.
And he's messaging me like, you fucking scumbag. And I'm like, what is going on? To the point I had to message my friend Shane. I'm like, Shane, why is this guy angry at me? Oh, yeah, I sold that account. He was playing it for like a year and a half. And I'm like, well, whatever, fuck it. That's what you get for buying an account, I guess.
Yeah, don't be dumb like that. Dude.
Yeah, I felt a little bit bad, but also thought it was kind of fun.
Yeah, listen, man, if you're buying accounts and stuff, like sometimes you got to hold that L, and he had to learn that lesson that day. I just like that you became a hacker man for your own account. That's hilarious.
I hacked my own account from a guy and sold all of his stuff, and he tried going through customer service, but because the account was in my email, I would get like contacted through my email, and I just respond, no problem at all. My account has not been hacked. Then he try again and do something. I get contacted again by like game services. I'm like, this account always belonged to me. ask me any information about what's on it, and I could like answer all of it. Stuff he couldn't get access to because it was all tied to my email address.
They probably
It's
thought
like,
he was trying to
actually-
hack in.
So I just told the GMs that he stole my account while I was gone, and I came back and took it back, and they went, "Okay, it's yours." They don't give a
Yeah.
fuck.
I mean, fuck. Probably just like,
It's
yeah,
a
whatever, man.
for-profit shit game that is designed to try to get you to spend real money. I don't know why I played it for so long, but
Spend real
I just
money on
did.
it.
I spent $20 once.
Hey, that's not bad.
Did. I got far enough in, and I said, so in the gap between, I taken a break from World of Warcraft, and I was paying $15 a month for World of Warcraft. So I said, what's the harm in spending $15 to $20 a month on in-game purchases in this game? World of Warcraft really, I don't know if I'd actually be somebody who would have bought in skins and paid for microtransactions if it wasn't for the fact that I paid $20 a month for World of Warcraft for like 3 years. Just kind of made me go, I don't mind putting money into these things. Hard to say how I would have been, but
It's crazy
So
how
I
much
did
World
put-
of Warcraft shapes stuff like that, eh?
yeah, it definitely made me more open to paying like outside the initial game purchase for a game.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd ever subscribe to anything but World of Warcraft. Like I can't think of a single game on the planet that I would actually pay a subscription for, aside from World of Warcraft. But yeah, so I hacked my own account, and the guy was really mad, and I often got like death threats, except he didn't even know my name. He would see, but you have to remember the redneck kind of feel. Like sometimes you'd be questing and you'd show up in a certain zone. You'd walk past him in town in the non-PvP zone. You'd show up, I was a higher level than him, and then all of a sudden he'd follow you, and then like 4 other people would show up, and you're like, oh my god, like I'm getting fucking like jumped in an alley. Like log out. Like that was the kind of atmosphere of that game where like if I ran into that guy and he knew where I was, like 4 guys were coming to kill me.
Oh my
So
god.
it's just like, well, all right, time to log out for an hour and go do something else. Like it was the craziest community I've ever seen.
Hey, loyalty.
Like-
Loyalty is good.
Online affairs and gang, like clan rivalries, and like everybody knows who everybody is, and like every other person you know is in an online relationship with each other in the game. And oh man, sometimes it was just fun to sit in the main city and just listen to people like spout gossip. Really, it was.
Yeah, I guess so, eh?
Yeah. All right, I think that
I think that
that
wraps it up.
I think my foot's bleeding. My foot is bleeding.
How? How? You've been sitting here this whole time. How? Explain.
Shanna's wondering. She just came downstairs.
Oh
foot.
my god.
I knocked my foot. It's bleeding. She's wondering how.
I
We
just
need to get out of here. We need to end this.
yeah, we're
podcast.
finishing up now. All right, let me do the
We just
host.
need next week's community
She
challenge.
threw me-
Flint,
She threw me
think of something quick on
bandages.
the top of your head.
She also threw me this whiskey. Ugh.
How about this? This is a setup for our next Boneless Beers reviews. What is your favorite game to play drinking with friends?
Yeah, yeah. What's your favorite drunk game? I love it.
What's
Good
your
stuff.
favorite drunk game?
What's your favorite drunk game community challenge for next week? We'll make sure we post it on the Twitter and on everything.
What was the last community challenge?
This week's
Has
was
your
has your
account
account
ever-
ever been hacked?
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Okay.
All right.
Bryce's
Flint, wrap
Pornhub
us up.
account got hacked. Whatever. All right. So, hey, maybe you enjoyed this episode of Drunken Cat Rambling. If you did,
I told you,
you can-
my heartfelt secret.
Hey, I appreciated
Hey,
that
that
part.
was- that was,
and then there was like that good
appreciated.
section, and then it was like
Listen,
the rest of the.
Listen, I played. All
cut
right,
your
I
foot.
played World
How?
of Warcraft. I played World of Warcraft, and I devoted my life to it. Burner Crusade, and then I may or may not have paid somebody to level it up.
Okay.
So
Your new account or your old account?
my main account while I was in deployment. I was like, I'm going to deployment. I'm going to be gone until what was the fucking patch after Burning Crusade?
Lich King.
Burning Crusade,
Lich
Lich
King?
King.
Lich King. So I was like, yo, I'm going to be gone. I'm gone on deployment, Burning Crusade till Lich King. Can you level my account until like They didn't level my account. All my shit, I had my bank, my character, naked, gone. So I logged in Lich King when I got back from deployment. He was a naked dude, just looked like a naked human. You know what a naked human in World of Warcraft looks like with a mustache? You don't want that. You don't want a naked human in World of Warcraft with a mustache. That's pretty much the worst you could get. So I'm like, I'm not going to play this. I didn't play it. So I logged in. I tried to look cool. So me and one of my buddies back in the day, like Iron Forge was like the place to hang out with. We would hang out on the bridge in Iron Forge between the bank and the auction house, because everybody, like, you have to run back and forth between what you needed to do. So we would just sit there on the fucking bridge and talk shit to people. That would be our game. Literally hours on end, talk shit to people crossing the bridge. Didn't give a fuck. Little did I know,
Bryce is the troll on the bridge.
I was trolling the bridge. Pass me, give me fucking 20 gold. Little did I know, now I log in a couple of years later after I had did that. My warlock destruction, top DPS back in the day, I will argue with Kyle to this day that everybody argue with Kyle to this day in Discord. Hop in Discord, hop in the WoW chat, argue with Kyle that Destruction Warlock is way better than Affliction. Destruction Warlock to this day for me, back then, I was top damage. Now I don't know. Now I will never be able to compare it because my Destruction Warlock no longer exists in my account. It's gone. It's gone. Not only back in the day after I paid for somebody to level him up to 80, was he naked? Now it's just not on my account. I can't find it. I have no Warlock on my account anymore. So we started over. We're a fucking, what are we? Panda. Panda. Yeah.
Yeah, gotta start from the bottom. Now we're here. Hey,
now we're here.
Thanks for joining, Bryce. And
fuck off, Flint.
Fuck you too. All right. Glad we're getting somewhere. So, hey,
we're here. We're here this week. It's like Bryce starting out all over again. And
yeah, fucking Bryce reborn.
Brian is gonna be upset.
Bryce year one.
Bryce year one. Here we go. Brian, you got anything to drink?
No, he's sober. He's packing later, dude.
Flint, you got something to drink?
Yeah, I'm drinking bourbon.
Do you have bourbon right now? I feel like we need to do this for Brian.
Okay. We'll do it, and then I'm gonna fucking sign us off here.
Let's see it. Let's see the shot. Everybody, if no video, me Flint's showing it.
Yep.
What are you drinking,
buddy.
Flint?
Buddy.
No, let's see the bottle.
Basil Hayden's.
The fuck is basil? What? Let me.
That's right. Really good, actually. Ready to rip or what?
All right, we don't, I'm not gonna finish this because that's gonna.
I sincerely hope you don't. At this point, I want you to be standing and not passed out in ice cream later, buddy.
We still need you to save the audio.
Export it.
Here's the whammies.
All right.
If you want me to stay, yo, I love you. If you don't want me to stay, I love you too. Brian, thank you. Flint, thank you. Matt, I hope everything works out for you with all the shit you got going on. Trelly, you're still a fucking virgin. And Punk Duck, Nani, I don't know what the fuck that means, but we're going with this anyway.
All right, send it, bud. All right. That concludes this episode of SideQuest Arcade. Hey, maybe you want to listen to more than just this episode. See what a regular format looks like. Hey, we got SoundCloud. We're on Google Play. Your grandmother's 8-track. Fucking Billy Bob's radio at the fucking gas station. You want to listen to us there? We're there. If we're on a podcasting app or we're not on a podcasting app that you don't want to listen to, then you can hit us up and we'll put it on there. SoundCloud is SideQuest Arcade. Just Google us there. We're coming up now. You want to follow us on Twitter? You can follow the official SideQuest Arcade Twitter at SideQuest Arcade. We post stuff there. We're trying to post there more, retweet stuff, like Whammy's buying our t-shirts, which is awesome. You want to follow Brian? You can follow him at SQA_happiness. He posts some great photography there. Hits us up on the daily or the weekly, depending on how many he uploads. You want to follow Bryce and see what he's like when he's not sending it consistently throughout the day. He's always sending it, but on the rare occasion he's not, you can follow him at _Silent Reveries. Mind the underscore. He's very particular about that. You want to follow Matt, the host that's not here today, who's awesome dude. You can follow him at Madman Matt YT. He posts some good Star Wars memes there on the daily. And if you want to follow myself, you can follow me at Micro Manatee on Twitter. We also have a Facebook page that Bryce manages. You search SideQuest Arcade on Facebook. You can find us there.
Wait a minute. Manager's a loose term.
I mean, you're the only one that posts up there.
It'll be kind of updated regularly.
Oh, yeah, kind of. Updated regularly.
Get in my ass, all right. So, along the lines of Bryce being important.
I'm not getting in your ass, dude. Fucking.
Along the lines of Bryce being important, if you care about the Facebook, message me and I'll fucking update it.
Yeah,
if
we
you give a
fuck
couple
hits there
about the Facebook, be like, yo, Bryce, I check the Facebook more than Twitter. I'll make sure I update the Facebook.
There you go. Post some new episodes
That's
there.
all I need.
Do some Facebook polls. Whatever. You want to buy some sick SideQuest Arcade t-shirts like the one Brian is wearing? You can go to our Teespring store. Search SideQuest Arcade on Teespring. You can find us there. We have a link to it in the Twitter and the Discord somewhere. And you can get a bespoke, nice, comfy t-shirt for like $25. It's really cool.
Buy a size bigger. It shrinks in the wash.
It does shrink in the wash a little bit. Speaking of Discord, if you want to join our Discord server, SideQuest Arcade, we have a lot of fun there. Everyone's chatting. We're playing a bunch of different games, yelling at each other in Whammy chat, and we do giveaways there quite frequently. Smite skins, t-shirts, whatever. Come hang out, maybe win some stuff, join the community. It'll be a great time. That covers everything there. Leave us a 5-star on iTunes if you listen on iTunes. It really helps us out. Other than that, boys,
fucking delete the 5 stars. Give us 5 stars. Put it back on 5 stars. Yo, you should
do that. Do all of that at once.
Star when Matt is the host. Give us 5 stars when Flint's the host.
There you go. Yeah, perfect. That's what you got to do, boys. Do all that shit. Hit us up. Come yell at us, whatever platform you do, and we'll try and respond. That being said, Brian, thank you very much for coming, hanging out, herding cats with me. That was a good time. Bryce, thank you for somehow cutting your foot and bearing your feelings to us this episode. I really appreciate it, man. Send it. And I'm not going to thank myself. I'm different.
No, thank you, Flint. Thank you, Flint. Flint, wait, before you thank yourself, the sword. Let me say it one time.
Dude, the sword is upstairs. I'd have to go get it.
No, we're not ending this episode until you go get the sword.
Here, you want to see? Look, I got a cool
Go get the
case.
sword.
You want to see that? Maybe the sword's in there. Don't know.
Go get the sword. Go get the sword.
I'll go get the sword.
Let's just end it.
I'll end it here.
Get the sword.
All right. Have a good one,
Brian,
lads.
come on, Brian. No. No. Don't let this happen.
I'm hitting stop, Bryce.
I'm hitting stop. Have a good night, lads. I'll see you on the next episode of SideQuest Arcade. Oh my god.
Don't let this happen.
I hit stop.